In this video, I will talk about the new VU meter in version 4.3. For the generic MIDI dial, there is a new VU display section where you can configure it to display a VU meter. You can select to have it integrated in the fader view, just as the generic MIDI button have, and if we press play, you see that it works exactly the same as the generic MIDI button. For the dial, however, you have another option, and that is to display a full screen analog type VU meter like this. If you do, you may want to tweak it a bit to have it work the way you want. If we look at the parameters and press play again, it's quite obvious, I think, what the various options are doing. If smoothing is not enabled, the VU meter will react on each and every value it gets, so it can be quite frantic. With smoothing enabled, it will calculate a running average over the selected time, so you get a more stable view. In a way, it mimics the inertia some physical VU meters can have. The peak hold, I think, is quite self-explanatory. It will show the peak value and hold it for the whole time. The rotate behavior drop-down controls what will happen when you rotate the dial. I think a common configuration is to have the dial control the volume and then you show the VU meter. So when you rotate the dial, you may want to keep the VU meter in display. You can have it this way to switch to the main view if you rotate the dial, but I think that can be quite counterproductive. So you can select to have a bar displayed on the VU meter. So you keep the VU meter on the display and just display a bar for the volume. Or you can have the value displayed instead for a bar, or you can have nothing displayed. The volume will be changed in the background, but you don't get any feedback in the display for the level. To have this VU meter respond in the correct way to the data it gets, you may need to calibrate it. And you do that by clicking the Calibrate button, and you get a window where you can set the various levels indicated in the VU meter. And for each level, you set the value you receive for that level. The principle here is to feed the VU meter with a constant signal, preferably a pink noise. You can use another noise signal or just a sine wave, but you need something that gives you a steady signal that you can set the level from. I have a pink noise generator on this track, so if I turn it on and move this window so we can see the VU meter, you see that we get a signal. And if I tweak the level so the VU meter shows the -20 level, I can press the set level button for the -20 level. And I go on and change the volume so I get the -10 levels. And I set that level. Raise the volume to indicate 7, and I set that level. Like that. So now I have a complete calibration to the data source I have for this VU meter. So I can change the name that is displayed in the drop-down. So I can call it my VU. And I can save this file and call it my VU It will be saved in a new folder in the Trevliga Spel folder called VU Curves. Save. And then we can close. Now we have this VU meter calibrated to the data source I have. Now if I switch off the pink noise generator and play and open supervision in Cubase, you see that the VU meter in Cubase reacts much faster than the VU meter in the plugin. And that is because we have smoothing enabled in plugin. So if I disable smoothing, you will see that the VU meter in Cubase and the VU meter in the plugin reacts very much alike. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.